What's up, guys? Welcome to the John Cast episode 2. Today, we're going to be talking about the Golden State Warriors and what I think they should be doing. As you can see, we're in a new location. It's in a podcast studio. I'm pretty excited to be here. So let's get right into the video. Okay, guys, so today we're going to be talking about the Golden State Warriors and what I really think they should be doing this next year. But before we get into it, I want to introduce a very special guest, Jacob Garvin. Welcome to the show.
What's up? What's up?
So earlier we were just talking about the players that are left on the Golden State Warriors. Yeah. You said, they still have Steph, Klay, Draymond, all these guys. So you think this team is the same team it was before Kevin Durant got there?
I mean, honestly, I think they're better without KD. I know the finals didn't show that, but that series against Portland really brought out the best in Steph, the best in Klay, the best in Draymond. If we can get Draymond back to 73-9 Draymond, then they're going to have no problem.
That says 73-9 Draymond like it's the same as saying like finals LeBron. It's not that there's no
95
73-9 Draymond. That's not a thing. No, but okay, I want to tell you a couple of the reasons you are wrong.
73-9 Draymond scored like 30.
30?
And remember he hit like a ton of threes in Game 7. Game 7 of the 2016 final.
One game 7 of the finals where they still ended up losing.
It was rigged.
Okay. Anyways, so let me tell you a couple of the reasons I think you are wrong about this team. First off, this team does not have nearly the depth that 73-9 Warriors team. You're forgetting about players like Harrison Barnes.
Yeah, that was a big one.
That was one of the big ones. He was one of their starters, actually, and like they don't have even almost whoever that guy's going to be now.
Their bench is kind of sketchy.
Their bench is not great now. Before they were like kind of known for their great star power and their depth.
A great second team, yeah.
Right, so now they don't have that. That's one. 2, Draymond Green. Let's start with him. So obviously this guy is a great defender, right? Yeah. He's actually proclaimed himself the best defender ever. I do not agree with that. What do you think?
I mean, no, he's not the best defender ever. But he's definitely. You have to have the attitude though to go up and guard elite players.
Yeah, okay, I'll give him that. That's true. But so actually, it's hard to pick this up in stats and box scores and whatnot.
Yeah.
But Draymond Green's defensive ability has slowly been going down over the last few years.
Yeah.
He's not the defender he was, the first time they went against Cleveland. And I feel like people kind of forget that because it seems like this time has gone by so short. Like it hasn't been that long since LeBron was in Cleveland, right?
Yeah.
But keep in mind, they were going against each other in the finals for years. Like that was a long period of time. So it's been a significant amount of time since Draymond was that elite defensive player of the year level player. And so he's really not that anymore. He's still good. Don't get me wrong, he's good, but you'll never see him guard LeBron like for an entire finals because he can't do that. He's like a team defender.
No, yeah, he is. If you watch Draymond, he's not like, oh, give me the best ball handler and I'm going to lock him up.
Yeah,
like the way he rotates on defense, his rotation, his communication, his ability to step up and guard bigger guys if he needs to. I think that's what makes him like a great defender, and that stuff doesn't show up in the stats sheet, really. I was going to make I thought you were going to say something about his offense declining, and I was going to say, well, that's because of KD. But you really can't defend his defense declining because that doesn't really have anything to do with KD.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say that his offense has declined because he was never a great offensive player.
No, but definitely
he went from being a bad offensive player to another like slightly maybe worse offensive player.
Yeah, but I mean, he was never scoring like 7 points a game or because there were times this past season where he would finish with like 10 points. And before he was probably averaging what, 15, 20?
No. This guy never got 20.
He never got 15 though.
Okay, maybe it was like I don't even think it was 15. Probably like like low 10s, I don't know, like 12, something like that. But that's like if they really try and use him, I think that's what he could get.
Yeah.
And that's what might be what they do this next season, try and use him like that a little bit more in the offense. I don't even know if I would. I would run it more through Steph because he can go back. I think Steph is one player who has a chance to go back to a 73-9 form.
Yeah.
His chance.
I agree.
But we were just talking about defense. Let's go to their other strong defensive player, Klay Thompson.
Okay.
Klay Thompson just had a significant injury. Why don't you tell us about that? Well,
Klay Thompson suffered an ACL injury, which we actually watched live. It's pretty nasty. I think he'll be fine, honestly. I mean, I did a little research and an ACL injury is like 6 to 9 months to recover from. Average basketball player takes about 8 months. And I think a player like Klay doesn't really rely on his athleticism that much. I mean, the man scores just by catching and shooting,
That's true.
very few dribbles. I mean, he's not unathletic, but he doesn't rely on his athleticism. Like, it's not the foundation of his game. So I think he'll be fine recovering. Like we talked about earlier, his shot won't go away. He might be a little rusty, but I really don't think. I think when you said he comes back in February, I think he'll be
February,
fine.
March.
Maybe might be a little rusty, but I think he'll be fine in terms of in the long run.
So now let's move on to the real guy, Steph Curry. And you may think really nothing's happened to Steph. You know, he'll pretty much be the same. But I would say that one of the main things that's happened, not just to him, but to this whole team, is age. Like, do you agree that he's not the same player he was 5 years ago? Or do you think he's still that exact same player?
I honestly think he's the same player. Again, because we're moving towards a modern game where these players are playing longer. Like, we see LeBron still we can say he's in his prime. This is what I want
to talk about. Okay, I feel like LeBron is changing the narrative for everything. But we forget, as basketball analysts, as fans of the game, that there are no other LeBrons. LeBron being this good, unheard of. Like, nobody's ever done it. And so thinking that, like, LeBron's done it, LeBron's fine, and he's been playing this long, why can't Steph do it?
Yeah, no, he's a bit of a unicorn in that aspect. But I think LeBron is a product. I mean, he's a freak of nature. But he's also a product of modern science and what we know about recovery. Like, NBA players, I've heard, like, NBA players in, like, the 80s and 90s, after the game, they were going out to the club. They were eating fast food. They weren't sleeping a ton. They weren't taking care of their bodies like they do now. Now it's like they're sleeping crazy amounts of hours. They're eating super healthy. They're in all these crypto chamber recovery things.
Jacob Garvin is into that kind of thing. He is on a fully plant-based diet. He will tell you about it whenever on Jacob Garvin Fitness.
All right, back to basketball. So I think LeBron is kind of the first one we're seeing with this modern sports science revolution where he's going to be able to play till he's probably 45.
45.
And still be
Hot
decent.
Take.
And still be decent
at 45.
I really think he will be, because, and especially a guy like him, again, he's special because, I mean, he has evolved his game over time, because he definitely was probably relying more on that freak athleticism earlier in the league. But I think he's kind of like the leading horse in this whole race. And so, like, Steph Curry, he's younger than LeBron, and so he's going to be able to have those same opportunities to increase his longevity with all this technology and knowledge we have now of basically not getting hurt and taking care of your body. And his game has never been based on athleticism. So I think he can always, I really don't see him ever slowing down. I mean, like, because it doesn't take a lot of athleticism to shoot the ball.
Sure. Here's what I think could happen to him is, as Steph Curry loses this athleticism that he's lost, what do you think? I'm asking someone who thinks that he could guard LeBron James right now.
I've made these claims before.
He has said this.
How
would you guard Steph Curry? How would you guard him?
You can't.
Okay, that's not really what I was going for. Point is,
Steph.
The reason
Steph is his own worst enemy. Okay, nobody can guard Steph Curry. When he's missing shots, it's because he missed them. Nobody makes him miss them.
Hot take: Steph Curry misses shots purely because he misses them.
Yeah.
No, here's what I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
When you're guarding someone who is so elite of a shooter, yet still has the finishing ability that he does, that's why it's hard to guard him. It's unstoppable, right? So let's say you're right. His shot's not going to go away. It's not just going to fade. He's not going to start shooting like this.
Yeah.
But what is going to happen?
Was that Alonzo Ball?
That was
a
Alonzo Ball.
Or
yes.
Attack.
Anyway, he will actually lose that athleticism, his first step to get past people. So instead of me having to guard you out here and thinking, oh, is he going to pull up? I'm just going to guard you up here because you're not going to get past me either way.
You're going to be like very like...
You'll be up on him.
Yeah,
and he's not going to be able to score because he can't get past you. He's not that fast anymore.
I don't think Steph's finishing ability is a product of his first step. He's just really crafty. If you watch the way he plays, he's not super fast. He's not very explosive. He's very crafty, though. Like, his handles are not even super tight and like explosive. They're very loose, and he's just crafty. So I really don't think, I'm not saying Steph's going to be an MVP at age 50, but I think what's going to hurt Steph is the downfall of the Warriors. Everybody leaving the Warriors. I think because he's a Warrior for life, in my opinion.
Right, I agree.
And I think it might just end up being where it's just him and just a bunch of nobodies. And then they're just being like the 8th seed in the playoffs or something like that. I think that's probably the worst case scenario for Steph.
So that actually kind of leads me perfectly into my next point, which is the main point for this video, which is what I think the Golden State Warriors should be doing right now, which is exploring trade options for everyone on the roster. That includes Steph, Klay, Draymond, whoever you want to talk about.
Reconstruction?
The reconstruction. Think about this. What was one of the best heists in American sports history? It's when the Boston Celtics traded all those older guys to Brooklyn, and they got years and years and years of picks, and then somehow they ended up ruining it anyway. But I don't think Golden State would do that. They have a pretty nice front office, right? So you trade these players at the end of their dynasty. I think even though they can be maybe competitive, they're not winning any more rings. This team is not going to win another ring.
You don't think so?
This team will not win another ring, especially if Kawhi Leonard goes to the Lakers. That's not happening, especially. So you need to jump ahead of this end, right? It's coming to an end. The smart thing to do is get ahead of the situation and explore trade options. So one thing that I noticed was interesting is they did not extend Draymond Green yet. You would think he's a glue guy for that team. Why would they not extend him? And I think that's kind of because he's getting older.
Yeah.
You know, they don't really know if, you know, what he can bring fully to the table. They may think, I don't know, maybe we can get some good pieces for him. So I think they're already considering the fact of trading Draymond Green, who is a key to that team. Next, think about the talent you could get when you trade Steph and Klay.
I don't think you trade Steph ever, just because he's that franchise player. I see what you're saying, but I think that'd be a risky move to deconstruct this team. Like, you can get a ton of talent for Klay.
And here's what I'm saying:
probably some solid pieces for Draymond, but I don't think they'll do that, and I don't think it's worth it. Like that's like risking. I don't even know a metaphor.
I'm not even saying trade like Steph for like Giannis or anything like that. Trade them for young pieces, young pieces that in 5 years, in 10 years, they will be just as dominant as the Warriors were in these last 5 years.
Who's in a better position right now for the future? The Warriors or the Pelicans? Like
for the future, it's easily the Pelicans.
Okay, no. I mean, I'm talking next 5 years. 2025.
I would give it to the Pelicans.
Really? You think the Pelicans are going to be better than the Warriors in 5 years?
In 5 years, the Pelicans will be significant. Realize Steph is what, 31?
He's like 30, 31.
So you think when he's 35 and Klay is 35 and Draymond doesn't even matter because he's going to be super old and fat by then.
Yeah.
They're not going to be good. Zion in 5 years.
That's true. Those probably don't.
Ingram in 5 years. Right. And so that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
You can get some quality pieces. And I don't even know. So like the Pelicans, I don't think personally will trade you Zion for Steph.
No.
They won't.
I think they like the position they're in right now.
I think they do, yeah. And so there's certain players I think that are almost too good for you to get. They're too good and young.
Yeah.
Even though Zion hasn't proven anything yet. But you build a team, not necessarily a star-studded thing. You build a young team that learns how to work together and all that. There's plenty of stupid GMs in the NBA that will give up their young talent and say, let's win now. The Knicks have done it for years. We've been like, no, forget the draft. We're going to win now. We're going to go all chips in.
Yeah. And how does that work?
It's worked terribly. I hate it. But anyway, there's plenty of stupid teams in the league that will do that. So if I'm the Warriors GM, starting as soon as I can,
I think you wait until it gets bad before you blow the whole thing up. Like the Warriors just came off a finals loss.
So you're telling me if you wait till it gets bad, you think you'll get the same return?
No. You definitely are losing trade value the longer you wait. But it's like I still think they have championship potential.
And how long would you wait? Till they're not a playoff team anymore?
Okay, I think if you're gonna, I say give it 2 to 3 years. Because I think this next year is going to be kind of a bum year. And then this next season is 19-20 season. And the 2021 season, I think the Warriors will legit be another threat. And then the next season after that, they'll be another threat. And then after that, maybe consider, because I think the players at Steph at 33 still has some good value.
Some good value. So if I'm a GM of another team, I'm not trading my great young pieces for some good value.
Okay, let me rephrase that. No, he's still top of the league, top 3 at 33.
You think in a few years he's going to be a top 5 player?
Yes, at 33 he'll still be a top 5 player.
The thing is, he's already debatably not a top 5 player.
But we're only saying that because he didn't really perform in the finals. We were saying he was top.
So that's another point. You think they're going to be competitive in a team where their best player, their closer just left, Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Draymond's not an offensive player. Klay is recovering from injury. We don't know what he's going to bring.
Yeah.
And so we're relying on Steph Curry, someone who's been known to choke in every single possible way that he can.
Yeah.
We're relying on him to lead us to the promised land. I'm getting rid of him now, and and I'm bringing in as many people as I can.
So
With full respect to these players, it's not about what they want anymore. It's about the Golden State Warriors. If I'm the GM, you need to be respectful to them. They did a lot for your franchise. Still hang their numbers, sure. But you're gone. I'm sorry. Welcome new players. Hello, Devin Booker.
That's a good
Here's
point.
number 30.
That's a good point. But I don't see it happening. I don't want it to happen. I mean, I really do believe the Warriors. I keep saying this, but I really do believe the Warriors are not out of the picture within the next 2 to 3 seasons.
All right. Well, that was Jacob Garvin joining us, talking about the Golden State Warriors the next few years. Thanks for coming on, Jacob.
All right. Thanks for having me, man.
All right, man.